Video brought to you by Morante Plumbing and Oil. Morante.
And we are back, G Macaroni, coming at you with another edition of the Outlaw Blitz podcast. Big fella, let's get dangerous.
Is this going to be a weekly thing now?
Well, I mean, you brought in some aggravation to me today. So.
We should just rip the salts weekly. That could be a thing. Let's see how long it takes before they become ineffective.
Yeah, we're going to find out right now.
I wonder if the chemical... You look fucking snug as a bug in a rug over there.
Very comfortable.
Super cozy.
I just dropped about half of them down my shirt.
You got the elbow patches. You're good to go.
Yeah. That one got deep. That's a new meaning, to take it deep. Oh, yeah. Shit, I'm still smelling it.
Whoa. Yep,
that'll clear them out.
That was the one. I don't know.
They still work.
They're
strong. They're potent.
But addictive.
Yeah. I see why weightlifters will use them before. You know what I mean?
Right. It's got to get the old adrenaline pumping.
Yeah. And I'm sure they're probably like.
They put on a little spoon and actually sniff the granules all the way.
Have you seen those boom sticks? Those things on TikTok shop? You remember the old Vicks fucking nasal sticks?
Yes.
They have things called boom sticks that have certain scents.
And they're like nasal clearing, right?
Yeah.
Each one is like fucking nasal napalm.
Maybe that's the next thing we buy to
I think
try
so.
out.
Definitely.
Boom sticks. I bought that. You get the boom sticks.
All right. We're going to have clear sinuses in podcasting.
Well, I'm telling you, I'm breathing pretty good right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on, dude?
Not much. Preparing for
our Super Bowl thing that's going to get canceled.
That's what I'm thinking, too, unfortunately.
It's right through the heat of that hour. So, I mean, we were looking forward to it, but the reality is by this time this comes out, it's most likely canceled.
Yeah.
Because they're calling for a pretty big snowstorm right through the hours of when we would be here.
Yeah.
Which, it's not a big deal for me being here, but for you to travel the 25 minutes that it is in your car.
I think the coming up wouldn't be the bad part. It's the being here for 3 hours and then
trying to get home.
Is going to be,
when there's a foot of snow.
Yeah, they're looking to dump 8 to 12 inches overnight, which...
Well, in a short period of time, like 5 hours. So
that's heavy.
Yeah.
That's like a whinny fart. It's heavy.
Yeah. Very heavy.
Very heavy. And then looking at next weekend, we were planning on going up to Delhi to visit Haley, and they're already kind of forecasting something that's going to start Thursday and run through Sunday.
Oh, yeah?
So I'm hoping paths change and shit, because we were definitely looking forward to get up there.
Well, over there, man, that's a whole different weather system.
She even said to Carly, she's like, is it ever going to stop snowing here? No, not until May.
Yeah, no. Listen, Western Ulster County.
Yeah.
They'll get a foot of snow when it's sunny and 45 down here.
Yeah, 100%.
Completely different.
You see cars of some of our co-workers coming down with fucking snow on the roof.
Yeah.
So
you're like, what? Where? Who got 6 inches of snow? Where'd you come from?
And I don't know if I can measure 6 inches. I'd have to hit it from the top and then come up from the bottom.
Yeah.
To see if I met in the middle.
Have you seen the kid? He goes, I'll look at the camera. He goes, we got 4 inches of snow. Is that a lot of snow? I mean, it's a lot, right? It's enough. It's deep. It's very deep, right? I mean, is it?
I like the little kid that guy said something about you got the dick the size of a Tic Tac because that's what your
I
mom.
know I'm a child.
No, that's the little black little white
Yeah.
kid says something about you got Tic Tac dick, and he's like, yeah, that's why your mom's breath is minty.
Oh,
Some shit
yeah,
like
that's
that.
funny.
That was a pretty good one too.
Yeah.
Social media wise, what have you?
I got stuff for rabbit hole later.
Do you? Cool.
We can. I'm
Awesome.
sure you can touch on.
Yeah.
Because you social media stuff every night. So
yeah, it's been a weird. I do, and I feel incomplete if I don't.
Sal was tearing you up at the coach's breakfast you didn't show up to last weekend.
Well, I deserve it.
The Montana meet and greet. We were laughing. I told them guys about it. So
yeah.
But yeah, he's like, yo, fuck Winnie and talk about my body. I said, I don't know what you did to that guy, but you're all over him. So
I'm
he's
comfortable
all
in my
over you.
skin.
Yeah.
He just wants to be comfortable in other men's skin. That's the issue.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know. And I still don't know what he did to you, but you just drill that dude every time we go out. But yeah, it was a good time. We saw Tommy and saw Sal. Sal's headed back to Montana. Tommy's in Michigan now.
Happy birthday to the Duke.
Yeah, that was just passed.
Yep.
I'm like, what's going on for your birthday? He's like, can't even see the camp right across from me. He goes,
Jesus.
look, and he sends me a picture, and it's just white out.
Wow.
Wind's going like 45 miles an hour. Snowbank's like as high as the motorhome.
So he's out riding.
Yeah, well, not yet. Everybody's getting out there today. He went out and set up ahead.
Yeah.
But he said he was smart. He backed the motorhome in right next to this big snowbank, so it'll keep the wind off of him, which was smart.
Right, isolate that shit.
Yeah.
That's got to be brutal.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine that being fun. That's not fun to me.
Like I've seen pictures of Lake Michigan, like from the shores. It looks like the ocean.
Oh yeah,
it is that fucking big.
Yeah,
it looks like the ocean.
You don't see anything till Canada,
right?
You know,
listen, when I was a kid, we had snowmobiles, and it was fun. We used to ride them on the old Sawyer Kill golf course after it closed, and then we used to ride the trails in Glasgow. But when we were kids, like we got snow a lot.
Oh yeah.
And then we hit like I don't even know 1990.
Early 2000s.
No, it really died off.
Yeah.
Yeah, to where our winters became a lot less.
Like mid 2000s, like 2006, it all of a sudden just
petered
which
out.
I'm good with.
Right, me too. Funny story with the snowmobiles. So you remember Pop's house?
Yeah.
How the garage is separate.
Yeah.
So we always had them.
You took the door down or something?
No. They were always parked on a trailer,
mm-hmm.
and the trailer was right next to the house. They were always tied up, and I don't know what made him get up, but he gets up during the middle of the night and he hears rustling and a motor running. He looks out the window, and one of the snowmobiles is already off the fucking trailer, running by the road, and there's two scumbags in masks trying to get the other one off. So out he goes barefoot in the wintertime with a fucking shotgun.
Oh, yeah?
Ready to take him apart. They just gone.
Left
in Berkeley
left
Heights.
The original one?
Yeah. Yep.
So you got them both back?
Got them both back.
Oh, yeah.
But he was ready to fucking take them out.
Speaking of stuff where funny stories, you want to tell me about this Elvis picture I got?
Elvis picture you got?
Yeah, apparently Johnny Honocletus is doubling up as an Elvis impersonator.
Yes. So, my mother texted to me on, I think it was Tuesday night maybe. So there was some sort of music event at the Myrtle Beach Library, and he decided to work it, and he decided to go in costume. So he went out and my mother said spent it, and I could tell by looking at the jumpsuit, it wasn't cheap shit.
Yeah.
So he went out and spent money, and he ended up going as Elvis.
Do you think he stuffed a cock pocket to make it a little bigger?
He could have. Very well possible. Sock dick. You got to stuff it down your jockeys.
Yeah.
So.
He beefed it up.
Yeah. He was always that was a weird thing growing up as a kid. He was a tighty whitey guy going to work, but not at work. He was the bikini brief guy. Yeah, it was weird. And he's hairy as fuck. My grandfather and him have inordinate amounts of body hair.
And you don't?
I don't.
I'm thankful I'm not.
Right. I'm more like my grandpa Dave. He had very little to no body hair.
Yeah, it's like Ferrara. That motherfucker's got a fleece on even when he has no shirt on.
Right.
Big Gay Sal, same way.
Well, it's funny. I saw pictures of Joe Ferrante this week on Facebook, and he's down. I think he was with his wife, and it was his birthday. and they were on the beach somewhere, and he was rocking the old Italian sweater.
Jesus.
Like, shave that shit.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you see the distinct lines where he shaves at his arms, like at his shoulders,
Yeah.
and then the collar,
Yeah.
and the rest is just.
Ugh.
Imagine getting that waxed.
No. Imagine just going up there with like a Velcro stick.
Oh,
That'd be awesome.
it would be funny.
Maybe that's what we need to do. Get like a tennis racket covered in Velcro and smack people and every motherfucker with that.
Cover the kendo stick.
Yeah, there you go.
And then with wax things and cane sal.
Yeah. Our boy Josh Moranti, who they sponsored the video every week, and we open with that now. He was very excited about the new ad.
Yes, he definitely got a little chubster.
Yeah.
We
He's
saw
like,
it.
oh man, that's awesome. Because it's official. It sounds right. It looks good. Everything
does.
about it.
Yep.
What made you pick this week's top 5?
Again, hopped on the old interweb looking for ideas, and an old Kingston like website type thing came up, and I'm like, you know what? That's actually a pretty good topic.
All right,
So
let's break into it. This week's top 5, the top 5 forgotten brands or items from our childhood or your childhood.
That's right.
I do have a bunch of honorable mentions, but we'll get to them later. You want to start?
Yeah, I'll start. Number 5, Crazy Eddie.
Oh my God, his prices are insane.
Yeah. He was apparently not a great businessman, and there was a lot of consumer fraud.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because they went bankrupt 3 separate times until they finally ended up shutting down in like the mid to late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, but don't you feel like every Pakistani guy in New York City is a ripoff of Crazy Eddie? They're always going out of business.
Right, yeah. Yeah, when they open up and the next day, the clearance, we're going out of business signs are up.
Yeah.
You couldn't watch Channel 9
without
seeing Crazy Eddie.
Yeah.
During the morning, afternoon,
My
evening,
9,
whatever.
New York 9 or whatever.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Yeah.
Yep, Crazy Eddie.
All right, my number 5, County Seat.
Oh my God, I forgot about County Seat.
That was a great store. I used to get my school clothes from there a lot.
Yep.
It was, I mean, kind of like an Old Navy, maybe a little bit more upgraded than an Old Navy, but not quite.
That's where I got
high-end stuff.
That's where I got the Levi's button flies.
Right. They would carry stuff like that, but they had their own brand of jeans that were awesome.
Yep.
They were super comfortable, looked good. But yeah, that was early 90s County
You know
Seat.
who I could see definitely shopping a lot in County Seat?
Who?
Adam Douglas.
Oh yeah, the whole Canadian tuxedo.
Every bit of it now.
Denim Dan, the stock car man.
That's it.
Yeah.
Number 4, Brit's Department Store.
Brits. Holy Jesus, yeah.
Yeah. So, did a little research. Brit's was founded in 1911, and they were actually a subsidiary of J.J. Newberry.
J.J. Newberry.
Right. But one of the last remaining Brits in the entire U.S. was the one in Kingston.
Really?
Yep.
J.J. Newberry. Remember being a kid going there in the town?
Yeah.
It was huge. You go down the basement. I think that was probably the first escalator I was ever on because they had that one escalator that went down to the basement.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brits we used to go to on Sundays a lot for breakfast because they had the little cafe off to the side. They had the hair salon in there.
Yeah.
And then they had the rest of the store. So,
wow.
that was a Kingston Plaza staple.
Yeah.
That was like one of the, it was James Way was the one anchor.
Yeah.
And Montgomery Ward's was down at that end. And then Brits was the other anchor.
Yeah. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
My number 4, Walkman.
The old
Sony Walkman. Now it's evolved, clearly, right? It
Yeah.
went from a Walkman to a Discman to an iPod to your phone.
Right.
So there's a version of it that still exists, but you knew, especially in the 80s, early 90s, if somebody had something yellow in their hand, it was a Sony Walkman.
And I asked Carly.
And it was never knockoffs. It had to
Right.
be a yellow Sony Walkman. And you could take it, and it was one of the first things I've ever seen, you could take it and throw it in water.
Right, totally waterproof.
Because it had all the rubber seals all the way around it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had asked Carly this last week because I think we got talking about the see-through Conair house phones.
Oh yeah, yep.
And I said I had the
and they had like different shades. It could be green, it could be clear, it
purple,
could be
blue. Yeah. I had when Conair came out with like a flip phone. It looked like the bag phone version.
Yeah.
I said, "Did you have it?" She said, "No." I said, "Did you have the Sony Walkman?" the yellow one. She's like, yeah. Now, this was maybe it wasn't a downfall of my parents working at or my dad working at Frox Cube / Philips, because their Philips Magnavox was their brand,
Right.
and they got a huge deep discount on electronics. So I had like a Magnavox, and it was a great Walkman.
Mm-hmm.
It just wasn't
Well, it wasn't a really Walkman.
right, and it wasn't waterproof because I left it up by the fucking pool in a rainstorm,
and that was it.
And I got chewed out for that. He had to bring it back to work, and they threw it in one of their special kilns that tried it out, and it worked again.
So, if you recall the Walkman, you didn't have one, or you did?
I didn't. No.
So, it used to be the metal thing and 2 earphones. Walkman was the first one that ever came over the top and had inserts.
Right.
They were the first ones that went in ear.
Yep.
And at the time, that made it that much louder. You know what I mean? It had that much better quality sound.
I think they did it a lot for the joggers too.
Yes,
that would
because
clip
you
them
could
on there.
run.
Yep.
And a lot of times you're fast forwarding a cassette or back in a cassette up. So
yep.
Yeah. So that was my number 4.
Great
Walkman.
brand. Great
Sony
brand.
Walkman.
Number 3, I kind of almost hand in hand for kids our age, Swatch watches.
That almost made my list. I never really wore them, but the Swatch watches, like, you could just change the bands, change the faces.
I was always jealous of Ferg. He had the jellyfish. That was like the grail.
Oh, was it?
Of Swatches, yeah. It was the head unit was completely see-through, so you could see all the mechanisms and having it turn. I got one year for Christmas. I did look to see, they are still around.
So what's wild about those is you could change them with your outfit.
Yes.
That was like the catch to them, right? Like
right.
You could, hey, if you're wearing pink today, you could have pink. If it was orange or blue or whatever, you could change the
bands. Were super easy to change.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And the little rubber
seal
protector
around,
that went around it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. That was 3.
Yep.
My number 3, Blockbuster Video.
Yeah, I worked at one.
Yeah. It's kids today, you get on Netflix or Prime or whatever, and you get almost any movie you want. It wasn't that way. You used to have to go pick out a movie and hope that the VHS was behind it.
You could call and reserve, maybe if you were lucky enough.
Or a DVD was behind it.
Yep. Now, Blockbuster it'll always be ingrained in my mind because while I was working part-time there, I was working United Healthcare during the day.
Yep.
The same time you were, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked there at night. Well, 9/11. I worked at United Healthcare during the day, and I had a shift at Blockbuster at night. I had no customers.
Of course you didn't. Everybody was
glued
to
the TV. Yep. I remember driving home, going down Kings Highway, being like, I don't know, rattled because there were planes overhead. Like jets overhead.
Jets, yeah.
There were jets overhead.
Yeah, not
holy
planes.
Shit, like what's
like
going
fighter
on?
Jets.
Right.
Like they were patrolling the river area just in case. Yeah.
Yep.
But remember, make it a Blockbuster night.
That's right.
And you could get candy, a movie, the whole deal.
Right up to video games, and later on you could buy.
There's a documentary. It might be on Netflix. It might be on YouTube. I can't remember. But they said the downfall of Blockbuster was not dealing with Netflix. Netflix wanted to make a deal. Because remember, Netflix used to have machines. Or you would order them and they'd send you the movie.
Right. And you get a certain amount per time.
Blockbuster's like, no one's going to do that. And they could have had the whole Netflix idea.
The model.
Right. And it would have been, we would be watching Blockbuster now instead of Netflix.
Yeah. I believe there's one remaining franchise in Oregon.
Yeah, they made a movie about it too,
yep.
I believe.
Yep.
That was 3. What's your 2?
Zubaz.
Oh my God! Them
I
pants.
was a purveyor of Zubaz.
You want to get kicked in the face with these pants?
We had my dad.
Oh yeah, you definitely had them.
My dad too. We used to wear them. We had every fucking team at one point. They
were the ugliest.
They were hideous.
Awful fucking things.
Super comfortable.
Dude, 90s fashion sucked.
There wasn't a lot of good 90s fashion. Low waist jeans.
Terrible.
Low waist jeans were probably the best, and that was like late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, like late 90s, early 2000s women's clothes.
Right.
Prime.
Smoking.
Yeah. By the way, your new mic sounds awesome.
You like it?
It's way better than that other one cutting out all the time.
I appreciate that.
And you don't have nearly the bass boom that you had in the other one.
Good.
My number 2. I haven't seen one since like the 80s or early 90s.
Okay.
Waterbeds.
Another conversation we just had. It's fun. That's hysterical.
They just disappeared.
So Christina's cousins had waterbeds, and when we went down for Thanksgiving one year when her grandfather was really ill, and we stayed and we took her one cousin's room, and it was a king size waterbed, and we slept in it. I don't think I slept an hour. You couldn't move if you're a fat fuck.
Well, there's different ones. There was like waveless ones. There was wave ones.
Right.
Trying to bang on a waterbed, you put your hand down, and then the wave comes up,
knocks you over.
Yeah,
that was just it. Being a fat fuck, you sink down in, you can't turn. It was brutal.
But if you were good at it, you could like push your hand down, and her titty would come up and hit you.
There you go. Use it to your advantage.
Yeah, no, waterbeds. The waveless ones were decent. The wave ones, I don't know how people didn't get sick on those, but
yeah,
they just disappeared.
They did. They went
just
away
out of the blue, like just boom. You never hear. It almost is like if you had one sitting in your garage, you could probably get a lot of money for it because they're just a nostalgia thing.
Yeah, absolutely. My number one, and this was my number one right away, just because I thought of the commercials in Christy Brinkley, Jordache jeans.
Jordache, yeah. They used to have even shoes and stuff like that with Jordache. Yeah. And
you may have had a banana comb,
correct,
sticking out of that back pocket. Yep.
Yeah. And the thing I think I remember about Jordache, they had the jeans, but when they did the shoes, they always did like a loud color.
Yeah.
Like red, like bright red. Like that wasn't normal back then.
No, not at all.
And they were like all red shoes.
Yep.
Or, you know what I mean? But yeah, Jordache was a wild, wild company. Do they exist at all anymore?
Let's find out. It's
if
funny.
You only had a computer in your pocket that you could look at.
Yeah, right. Now that's funny because when I'm 10, my parents are 28.
Oh, they were young. Your parents
young
were only
parents.
18 when you were born?
18, 19 maybe.
Really?
Yeah. I'm sorry. They're 10 years older than me. Or
20
years older than me. So yeah, they were 20.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, when I was 8, they were 28.
Yeah.
And they were still rocking.
They were still young kids themselves.
They were still rocking the
So very
modern
similar
fashion.
to you and Christopher.
Correct. Yeah, they were still rocking all the modern fashion.
Well, if you remember, there's a picture of me somewhere at your house with Chris's fucking hat on. It's flat brim, remember?
Yes.
I actually rocked that hat pretty good, though.
Wow. That's wild.
You want to?
Yeah. Walmart carries Jordache.
Really?
And they are dirt cheap.
Isn't that wild?
$11.50 a pair, $17.98.
Remember when Starter was everything and Walmart carries Starter now?
Now they carry Reebok. They carried Champion for a while.
Yeah.
But things cycle back around because then Champion became pretty big.
Yeah, they're big again sweatshirt wise now.
Yep.
My number one, arcades.
Yeah.
A true arcade, not a Dave and Buster's, not where you're winning tickets.
Drop it in the slot.
Just an arcade. Hey, you're the guy up there, my quarter's up there, we'll see who stays on, who goes home.
So what would be 2 of your favorite arcade games?
Tekken.
Okay.
Easily Tekken. NBA Jam.
Okay.
Air hockey. All day air hockey. There was one called Moon Patrol back in the day.
Yep.
It's old cabinet games.
I was a huge fan of Punch Out.
Body blow.
Yes, because working...
The one where you actually punched or the one where you hit the buttons?
Hit the buttons. Because
there was one that you actually threw punches
There was.
to.
But when I worked at Fantasy, the laundromat had Punch Out. So I definitely spent tons of dollars there playing that. And the second one was a skateboarding game that the mall arcade had because it was like... To me, it was like the first open world game. You went all over the place in that game. You weren't limited to like one little place. Paperboy was great.
Do you remember they actually had Paperboy? You just used a joystick, but they had Paperboy that had handlebars.
Yep.
And then you hit the button and it would throw
the paper.
Yeah, that Paperboy was one. Ramage and I used to take our lunch break and go over to the arcade at the mall and play air hockey all the time, and then go back to Weiss Market and work the rest of the day.
When you say the mall, you mean the Hudson Valley
Mall?
Okay.
Yeah. Because the arcade there used to be
a legit
arcade.
That was great.
At one point it was a great arcade. My dad had an arcade in the 80s down on Albany Avenue where Arby's is now, was my dad's car dealership.
Yeah.
Next to it was a car. He had it was probably maybe 1.5 of these rooms wide and I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 of them long. So it was just one side of the building that had a bunch of, and in there played, school's canceled. My dad would just give me an entire thing of quarters that he'd get back. to go play, and it was always Burger Time and
Yeah.
Dig Dug.
Burger Time was awesome. You'd
Hours and hours and hours of Dig Dug and Burger Time.
run across the top of the bun so the whole thing would drop down and make the burger.
And then salt and pepper would chase you around. No, you throw salt, but like the eggs, the bait, everything would chase you.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
they're good games. Man.
Yeah, it was
good
cool.
times.
So yeah, that was it. No, my number one arcade's like a true arcade
I think
where that was a hangout.
I-
Music played.
I think they're going to make a comeback at some point.
I don't know, man. Everybody can play everything on their phone, their house, their, you know what I mean? You're not.
You know what? Things need to become a destination again,
Yes.
and that might bring something like that back.
Well, like malls, like that
Right.
was a Friday night. Like we
Yeah.
could have just said malls.
Yeah, in general.
You know what I mean? Did you have any honorable mentions?
I did. United Nations of Benetton.
Yeah.
Esprit.
Esprit.
That
Yep.
was another big one.
Debs.
Bugle Boy.
Bugle Boy. How about No Fear?
Yeah, No Fear was huge for a while.
Yep. Mine are Chocolate Cow Soda.
Bowling Alley Stable.
Oh, so good. If they brought that back, that would fucking sell out
Yeah, it
immediately. Airwalks.
Airwalks, which they stuck around as long as Payless was around.
They
They
stuck
still
around for a
sold
while. Yeah.
Airwalks. Yep.
Big Johnson brand, remember?
Yes.
Big Johnson.
all
That
the,
was huge in the 90s.
all the dick jokes with the Big
Yeah.
Johnsons. Yep.
Yeah. Liquor up front, party in the rear kind of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Or poker in the rear. Liquor up front, poker in the rear.
Yep.
And this was my last one that there's plenty, but do you remember being home and the 10 o'clock news would come on and goes, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Absolutely.
Like they had to remind our fucking Gen X parents that you have kids. Do you even know where they are right now? It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where they are? Are they
I think
home?
that was more for urban America.
Yeah. Well, no, it was for us too.
We got them. We definitely
Yeah.
got them. And I would be totally remiss of my own childhood if I didn't remember Cross Colors and Carl Kanai.
Oh, 100%. I saw that. I figured it would have been on your list there.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's wild, like the things that we no longer have
Yeah.
compared to the things that's taken their place.
Yeah, and it's fun to see when things come back around.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an enjoyable top five.
Yeah.
And you know, like, what are some of yours, guys? Because that's just shit we thought of. And we're just two dudes. Like, I'm sure it's different for girls. They're probably like, oh, jelly bracelets or, you know, whatever.
Jellies, those
The
clear
jellies, the
shoes.
shoes.
Yep.
Yeah. The things. We can get to it later because we both did an over-under, so we'll both do them, but we'll talk about it later.
LA Gear.
LA Gear. Yeah. Balloons.
Oh my God.
Remember they were shoes.
Palazzo pants.
Yeah. Z Cavarucci.
Oh my God. You had to go to Hess to get them.
Yeah.
See, that's what makes it enjoyable.
Yeah.
You can remember all that shit.
You just
It's
start
stuff.
rapid fire and shit that went off. Like a store called Hess.
Right. My dad had a pair of.
They're like the gas station? No, this
No.
was the store before Macy's, before Filene's. It was
Right.
Hess.
My dad definitely had a pair of Z Cavarici dress pants that went with a beautiful gold silk shirt.
And then he wore his cardigan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fucking 90s fashion was terrible.
It was bad.
All right, ready to move along?
Yep.
All right. Five crazy questions presented by Winnie.
Number one. What's the strangest thing you've ever found lying on the ground?
Strangest thing I ever found lying on the ground.
On the ground.
Well, I can tell you what it wasn't, but I just saw this video and I don't know if I sent it to you. Phil McConkey, when the Giants won the Super Bowl, was jogging off the field and found a loaded gun.
What the fuck?
Yeah. He's running by, he looks down.
At the
And
Rose Bowl.
And he goes back and he picks it up and he's like, and the security comes over and like grabs it and they're like, it's on TikTok. I think I said
Pasadena's
it
a
to you.
rough area.
Yeah. Wildest thing. I mean, not for nothing. Probably like fucking drug needle. These dirt bags leaving their
Yeah.
needles out in the street. You know now.
Yep.
Other than that, I think I found like,
Yeah.
a nominal amount of money.
Yeah.
Nothing like thousands of dollars, but like $40, $60, $80, something like that.
Yeah.
You?
Funny money, but my grandfather would do it on purpose.
Oh, hey, there's $20 there.
Exactly. We were down in Wildwood, and I was like probably 6 or 7 years old. We were walking to the coffee shop in the morning and on the way back to the hotel. And he knew I was going to the boardwalk with my parents that night.
Yeah.
And he kind of did that. And he's like, hey, look. And it was a $20 bill. So, yeah, money. The funniest thing that I've heard a story of was on the bank of the creek in Eddyville. Somebody found a suitcase of dildos.
What the fuck?
A suitcase.
Someone threw it off the
dildos.
bridge and it washed up.
I'm like, how? I mean, did you keep them? Did you bring them home?
Oh, why would you?
Yeah, a suitcase of dildos. Number 2, if you could stay one age forever, what age would it be?
Probably like 24.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, you have enough sense. Your body still feels pretty good. You know what I mean? Yeah, I would say somewhere 24 to 31 in that range somewhere.
My age, I probably would have said 31, 32.
Yeah, somewhere just enough where you have enough maturity. Your body's still pretty good. If you wanted to get in shape, it's pretty reasonable.
You can do that, yeah.
Yeah, and you're not all banged up.
Absolutely. Number 3, if the devil only punishes bad people, why is he the bad guy?
I don't know that he punishes bad people. I think he punishes bad deeds, right?
Right.
Why is he the bad guy?
Why is he the bad guy? He's handling...
Because he encourages the bad deeds.
Okay, that's fair.
You know what I mean?
Did you see that new Jack Black Christmas movie that came out this year?
Yeah, where he asked for Santa, but he spelled it wrong. So
yes, and he got Satan, and Jack Black played like he pawned himself off as the devil the whole movie, but you found out that he was like this misfit working for the devil. He really was the devil. So it was a different take on a Christmas movie. I'll probably never watch it again.
Yeah,
but it was all right. Number 4, what's something that doesn't smell great, but you want to keep smelling it anyway?
Ooh.
I would say for you, I had it in my head already.
What?
Race fuel.
Oh, that smells great to me already. So I don't mind that. I don't know. There's some weird stuff that doesn't necessarily smell great, but like rear end fluid, rear end gear fluid, smells horrible. But if it smells like racing to me,
so it's
like
nostalgic and it's good.
Yes. Yeah. Like, okay, all right, that's not too bad. I know people that like love the smell of skunks, which blows my mind.
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, it's gross to me, and they're like, oh my god, it's.
Yeah, Pop's basement. It always had a distinct smell, but I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that'd be more personal to like what your.
Yeah.
You know, not for nothing. Like certain smells remind you of like your Pop's basement, my dad's fucking sweater, or whatever, whatever. So yeah, I would say probably like gear oil, something like that. Some sort of garage where people was like, oh, it smells like a garage, like fumes, and I'm like,
you're like,
yeah,
it's awesome.
Like, yeah.
Or Slim Jims.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or steaks at 2 a.m.
Or Rolaids.
Was he a Rolade guy?
Dude, so I have a flannel on. My dad used to wear these type of ones all the time.
Yep.
He'd have Marlboros, red, in here with a lighter and a bottle of Anison.
Okay.
And then this pocket
Anison.
Anison. And then this pocket would be Dristan and Rolaids. I'm like, dude, you think about it in hindsight. Your nose is plugged. You got a headache all the time. You're smoking cigarettes like crazy.
Yeah.
And you got Rolaids because you got heartburn because you're eating like shit.
Because the 3 Slim Jims you just hammered down didn't agree with you.
He didn't eat them till later in life.
No.
All in your pockets at all times. How fucking terrible were you feeling?
Did your dad or your mom even have any like weird food things that you would see them eat? You're like, what the fuck are you eating?
My dad ate sardines.
Yeah.
Could not do that.
Pop did too.
No desire to ever eat sardines.
He used to eat liverwurst with Russian dressing and onions.
I could do that.
And then he would have fucking horrible heartburn from the Russian dressing.
I think I could do that. Like liverwurst with mayo and onion. Oh, so good.
Yeah, I don't know. I had one bad experience where I got like a non.
That's when they cut it like in a circle, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It was like a non. Somehow it made it into the paste, like a non ground down bone.
Yeah.
it turned me off forever.
Well, there's certain things that'll do that, right? Like
Right.
an eggshell will fuck me up. That's it. It's over.
I remember yakking up Big Macs one time, and I don't think I touched the Big Mac for about
I haven't
8 years.
touched a Chef Boyardee's raviolis.
I can't either.
I'm not a yacker, but probably the last time I threw up 20-something years ago, 30 years ago was that.
Yep.
Can't do them.
Nope.
I can have raviolis at a restaurant, but not those.
It's that sauce consistency, the whole thing.
It's instant, like, oh my God.
I don't know why we ever thought they were good.
Because we were kids.
Did you like SpaghettiOs?
Yeah.
I like the SpaghettiOs
occasionally.
with the hot dogs occasionally.
Yeah, just occasionally.
Yeah.
I mean, it is Chef Boyardee, man.
That's it. Number 5. You're homeless and only have one choice of clothing. Either a tattered, oversized white shirt of thin fabric with a few holes, or an extremely tight, flesh-colored set of underwear. What are you wearing?
T-shirt.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it'll cover the parts. I'll be Donald Duck.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Once the flesh color is bad enough, but once they're extra tight, not good.
Yeah, no.
Not flattering in any way.
No, and there's going to be skitters and everything again because if you're homeless, you know you ain't getting that clean.
Yeah, not even close.
They're looking like you fucking took the fucking Slick 50 drag strip right up the back.
Oh, God. That's awful.
Or, as we like to call it, Sal.
Sal, yeah. And that is 5 crazy.
All right. We'll go to... As we have done before, I'll do mine first.
All right.
Number 1, waiting rooms.
Overrated.
Overrated, right? It's like they have you sit in this room that's got a TV channel on that you don't want to watch.
Right. Magazines that are 7 years old.
Usually shitty TV.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just like, ugh. And then you go into a smaller waiting room while you're still waiting.
Yeah.
You're gonna see the theme play out right here.
Okay.
Number 2, magazines.
I love magazines.
Underrated.
Yes, very much
100%.
so.
Like, just in general, like, I don't think we have enough of them anymore. People want to flip through on their phones. It's not the same.
It's not.
I mean, I think that's a generational thing. Like, remember when they made Nooks?
Yeah.
People don't want to read on a Nook.
No, I want to read a book.
They want to read a book. They want to actually feel pages and turn a page and the whole deal. There's something more about holding a book in your hand than having an electronic.
And that's why Nook and Kindle went to that e-ink, so the screen looks like paper, because they were hoping it was going to draw more readers. But it really doesn't.
No, because people still buy books by them.
Right.
You know, a lot of books. But magazines in general, like, what were some of your magazines growing up?
Like, well, I just got a Pro Tough in the mail this week.
Did you?
I haven't gotten one in probably 2 years. I was so excited to have it and read went through the whole thing. Yeah, it was awesome.
All the new shit.
I had subscriptions as a kid. I had Mad Magazine.
Yep.
I had...
Remember how you used to always have to fold
yes.
to make the picture in the back?
Yep. Mad Magazine. I had Fantastic Four, G.I. Joe, and Transformers comics coming on a monthly basis at one point. And they were cool. You knew what it was because it always came with a brown paper wrapper over it, and then it was in a cellophane bag. It's like, fuck yeah, new comics today.
Oh, yeah, because they wanted you to have the surprise of seeing what the cover was.
Yep. And then Baseball Digest.
Okay. I used to do WWE Magazine.
Yeah.
Or Pro Wrestling Illustrated, where they'd have the rankings.
PWI was great.
Yeah. That...
Shout out to Bill Apter.
Yeah. Who has appeared on this show.
And just went in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. But back in the day, Star Magazine. My mom used to have them. That was like the old shitter standby.
Oh, yeah.
You would read all the celebrity gossip in Star, which then turned to In Touch.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But those things were like necessity. Like you go in there, just those magazines.
I was a J.C. Whitney guy, too.
My dad always had like model railroading.
Yeah, not
like
down with that one.
But that's what he was into.
Right.
Or something that was like a RC Car Action magazine. We've appeared in that before. There was one like dioramas, you know what I mean? Like he did all these models and shit.
Yeah.
So, and they would teach you in them things like, hey, but the last one I remember having a subscription to was Maxim.
Okay.
Maxim was a great magazine.
Maxim was great.
It was like the ultimate dude magazine. Hot chick on the cover, new sports stuff inside.
Always.
But it wasn't like nude shit. Or
No, it had
anything
new
like that.
tech stuff.
Yeah.
It was good.
It was good.
Chris and Max's grandfather, Rich, he appeared on the cover of a karate magazine back in the early 70s.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he was a really high-level student down in the city at that point.
Wow.
And his instructor was, I guess, a famous instructor, and he was on the cover.
Tiger fucking Chang. Ah,
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah. Magazines are way underrated.
Way underrated. Number 3, being on time for a schedule. Like if you're scheduled at 11 a.m., the person to come in and be on time.
Yeah, it's underrated. I'm terrible at it, but it's underrated.
Underrated. Like I swear doctors and lawyers and shit like that never went to time management class.
No.
They're like, why are you not? My appointment was say 9:45.
Right.
I didn't get brought in till 10:13. I don't think I was seen till 10:30.
Right.
So you're 45 minutes behind, and I've been there for the 8 o'clock appointment, the first one of the day.
Right, and not seen until
Not getting
8:40.
until 8:15, 8:25. I'm like, what the fuck? How are you behind before your day started?
Right. The only doctor I can say I've never had that issue with it is Dr. Alfred, my knee doctor. He is super punctual and early at times. He's great like that. But
if you're there early,
he'll see me early.
Good.
Yep.
Good.
Yep, he's great. But general practitioners, no, they suck.
Yeah, just time in general.
Yep.
Like I don't just be on time.
I don't want to be here all day.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Number 4, your washer fluid.
Windshield washer fluid?
Yes.
Way underrated. And I need to get
especially
some.
right now.
Yeah.
Dude.
I hit the button the other day and I got zzz, but nothing came out.
Were you not with me the time we had no washer fluid and the thing was covered and I took the iced tea and
Yes.
threw it on the window?
Yes.
And then it just stuck. It got all sticky. I just grabbed the whole thing of McDonald's iced tea, sweet tea, and went. It cleared it for a minute, and then the wipers just got stuck.
Going back and forth, yeah.
Yeah, washer fluid underrated.
Yeah, because it's
You
always going to.
You better keep a gallon or two on you this time of year.
It's always going to happen when you need it at the most inopportune time, and you're not going to have it.
100%.
Yep.
And number 5, streak-free wipers.
Because the last time I finally bought wipers that were worth a shit, now I see the benefit of having good
quality
wipers.
Yeah.
Like I think the last set I got for my car now, for the 3 wipers, I paid like $90.
Yeah.
But it's worth it.
Yeah. Underrated.
Yep.
Because it'll go like this, and you got a streak right through your vision, and that's all you see. You can't unsee it.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck
it
this.
goes nowhere.
Yeah. Wipers that are streak-free, highly underrated.
Absolutely.
And I threw one bonus on there.
Okay.
A clean sink, like a clean kitchen sink.
Super underrated.
Underrated. Like, so after I get done washing my dishes, I scrub the sink down.
Yeah.
Like, I do the counters,
Right.
then I do the sink, and I wipe all that down. So, like, if you got to do food prep or anything in there, it's clean.
Right.
Everything's clean.
The bathroom sink is big, too. I hate when people don't, they leave hunks of toothpaste.
Yeah. It's
or
nasty shit.
like when you shave, I have to. And
the hair, rinse
I
it
shave
down.
my head, so I have to rinse. What I'll end up doing is I'll drain the sink. I'll go in with a paper towel first because if like now I haven't shaved my head in a few days, it ends up being a lot of hair in the sink. So I'll wipe it out first.
Not
then
a lot of hair, buddy.
It looks like it when it is in the sink, though. I'll wipe it out and then wash it. Wash that, and then take the bottle of Mr. Clean and wipe it all out. Yep.
Yeah, it's just sinks in general. They should be clean. Like they're not meant. It'll drive me nuts.
That's where you're supposed to go to wash your hands and make them clean.
Yeah, it'll drive me nuts, and it happens at work. We go in and somebody shaved in a sink and leaves the hair there. That is the biggest fucking dirt bag. That's going to be on the next dirt bag.
Right.
That is a dirt bag move.
Or you walk in and it looks like somebody had their fucking manscape with them and dropped every pube on their body. On the toilet seat.
Or on the toilet
seat.
seat.
What the fuck?
It's like, Jesus Christ, dude. That thing looks like it could be braided.
Woolly
When's the last
mammoth.
time you shaved your nuts? So that was my 6 over or under. You got some?
I do. Number 1, jalapeno poppers.
Underrated. I don't like a lot of hot things, but jalapeno poppers are underrated.
Do you prefer the cream cheese?
Cream cheese.
Okay.
Cream cheese, jalapeno popper.
Me too, because the cream cheese kind of helps deaden the
heat.
spice and the jalapeno.
Yeah.
But the cheddar to me doesn't do anything. It's just greasy.
And cheese is good, but cream cheese, I like them better. Yeah.
Will you ever order them, or will you just eat them if they're there?
I've ordered them.
Okay.
Yeah, I have ordered them.
All right.
I very rarely, but I have ordered them.
Okay. Number 2, fountain soda. You're not a big soda guy, I know.
No, underrated though.
But there's a difference between a good fountain soda.
There is a good one.
Right.
Because some of them taste like all syrup, and some of them taste like all fucking seltzer.
Right.
There's a good fountain soda, underrated.
Louis Barbarian can make a good fountain soda.
He can.
Yeah.
Sure can.
Number 3, store brand food storage bags.
Overrated.
The worst.
Like, listen, we call it a Ziploc for a fucking reason.
Right. They don't seal shit.
They don't seal shit. Yeah. No, and you're trying to get it to seal, and you're like trying to line up the color to make it. It's nothing.
You can feel the seam like jump side to side, and it never gets in the
you
fucking
go all the way
channel.
to this end, and the whole back end's still open.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. No. Agreed. It has to. That's the one thing where brand matters.
Yes.
For sure. You need the good bags.
Like Glad garbage bags.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
It matters. Brands matter.
Number 4. Not a big fan myself, but maybe you are. Roller coasters.
Underrated.
Okay.
It's that little bit of fucking mystery, right? There's a little bit of suspense, that little bit of, that just getting, hey, I might die in this fucking carny ride right here. It's a little adrenaline rush. This is going to be cool,
right.
But there's a chance this motherfucker might come off the rails because old fucking Jethro over there is hitting on this 14-year-old today. And he didn't pay attention to greasing the fucking wheel.
Right.
Now,
I'm not a fan.
Big parks, a lot more safer.
Right.
You're really taking your fucking chances at a fair.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of the loop-de-loop upside-down ones.
Bro, you weren't a fan of the fucking boat. The fucking boat.
Fuck that thing. It made me sick.
Yeah, you were such a puss.
Fuck that.
Trying to put you on the fucking balloon ride. You thought
vomit,
it was too high.
bro. It was terrible. But old wooden coasters.
Yeah.
Like the one, is it the Comet that is up in Storytown? Well, Storytown, whatever it is. Great Escape.
Yep.
Love that coaster.
Do you have an all-time favorite
coaster?
Yeah.
Space Mountain.
Really?
Yep.
That is such a little pussy ride. Like my kids go on at 5.
Yeah. I'm not a big coaster guy.
No, I know.
Another one was, again, the Comet was good.
The Steam and Demon was amazing when it first came out.
That was the first of its kind in this area for sure.
Yeah.
There was a real pussy one up in Six Flags New England. It was like the
Catwoman's Whip.
Yes.
Awesome.
Loved it.
I brought you on that 100 times. You're like, nah, dude, I don't do coasters. I'm like, well, you getting the fucking thing.
Loved Catwoman's Whip. Fun.
And then all
Great
day.
coaster.
And the line's not too long.
Nope.
And
it's fast.
At the time, if you remember, Bean and Max were little. So, they could get on it, and it was a thrill to them, but it's not, taxing on your body. What I do not like about coasters, where they're overrated, is the ones that fucking whip you around. You come off, you got, whiplash.
And CTE.
Massive headache.
Yeah.
I don't like those. The Batman ride at Six Flags New England is almost like a glider. You don't feel it. You'll go upside down and all this, but you don't feel it. There's no tension on your body.
Now Carly's a thrill junkie. She'll go on any coaster.
Yeah,
she loves that shit. I know I have my groove and I'm not leaving it. I do.
You're 100%. I'll go on the duck boat,
but I'll go on any water ride. Water rides I love.
Yeah,
but straight up coasters, it's
one of my favorite water rides ever is the Zoom Flume, the original Zoom Flume with the dad.
Yep.
Love that ride.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you leave the mat, you got fucking cement burn.
Oh yeah, you got all tore up.
You're fucked up.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the special on Max? I think it's got to be on Max. It was HBO at the time.
Action Park?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was awesome. The special was.
I thought we talked about this.
Maybe we did.
Did we not talk about when I went on the Snapple bungee jump ride?
No.
We didn't talk about this?
I don't think so.
So, it was years ago when it first came out. We're over at Kat's house, and it's me, her, and Bean are watching it. And I was like, when I was 16 years old, I went down and Tommy Maloney signed like he was my dad so I could do the fucking bungee jump, right? And at the time, it was the Snapple jump. Snapple sponsored it. It looked like When you got up on the tower,
Yeah.
it looked like a Snapple cap.
Yeah.
You know how they were white?
Yeah.
Right? So you had an option of how you wanted to go down. They put you in a harness. You could jump off feet first like that, or you could jump off head first where it was tied to your feet. And I'm like, no, I'll go in the harness. Now, when that thing bungeed, oh my God, it felt like it dragged your asshole through your brain. It was like, ying. I mean, it really snapped you, right? So I tell them, I'm like, listen, right when I got down and I get on out of the thing, they had like 2 different ones. The guy that was right next to me that went up the thing with me, he decided to go head first. The thing didn't bungee, it snapped. He hit the edge of the fucking bag. And I mean, when I say the edge of the bag, he just hit the edge of the bag.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So I'm telling him that, and they're like, Boston's probably like, I don't know, 10 at the time. He's like, Dad, no way that happened. She's like, are you serious? Did that really happen? Sure and shit. In that fucking thing, they say, oh, the guy jumped off the thing. I go, I fucking told you. It was literally like a minute before. I'm like, I told you. That shit happened right after me.
That's crazy.
That dude jumped, and the fucking thing just snapped. I'm looking back, taking the thing off, and here he comes. And here he comes. And he still comes down.
Holy shit.
And it just went, ding. And he hit the edge of the bag. He was okay.
Yeah.
But if he would have been like 4 more feet out,
Splash.
he would have just, right into the ground.
Oh, man. The craziest thing I remember from that special.
I almost died in a wave pool, too.
Was the bumper boats. That fucking lake was filled with water moccasins and gasoline.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
That was the most dangerous fucking place on earth. And 90s kids loved it.
Right. When they said in the special that the owner literally drew up something.
Yeah.
And
he would pay kids to go down and try the loop.
Right.
And people would get stuck in there.
And they kept revamping it until people stopped getting hurt and stuck. And then they opened it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the one kid got caught in the loop when he did the slide with the loop. They had to cut it open. It's pitch black in there, and he's stuck upside down in the loop.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, what's the compensation on that?
Yeah, none. Don't tell nobody.
So, and then the other thing a lot of people don't understand is when you would go, they had these rope swings that would go out and land in water. You're thinking like, okay, no, it was a natural fucking brook.
Yeah.
When you landed in there, it was ice cold.
Ice fucking cold.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was wild, dude. And I swear, I almost died in that fucking wave pool.
That's not good.
No. There were so many people in it.
Right.
And I think I went underwater to just do, and somebody with a tube came over top of me, then I come out and the waves over top of you.
And they had deaths in that wave pool because people went under and you couldn't see them because there was 700 fucking people.
Yeah, because there was no fucking this should have been like the fire department comes down and goes 200 people max.
Right.
Yeah, no. 700 people.
Because the fucking 3 lifeguards were up having a threesome in the fucking employee
100%.
room. So
100%.
Yep. Number 5, Vicks Vapor Rub.
Underrated. Anytime, you put on your chest if you have a cold.
Yep.
You put under your nose so you can breathe. Tucker just recently had these fucking Vicks
tissues.
Awesome. Amazing.
Yep.
Amazing.
Very much so. That I'll tell you what, that Vicks Vapor Rub was a godsend the very first time I had COVID.
Oh yeah.
16 days of hell.
Dude, not for nothing. What we just talked about came full circle. The boom sticks.
Yeah.
The old Vicks nasal stick.
Yep.
Yeah. Pretty wild stuff.
My bonus, over-the-counter muscle rubs.
Underrated. When you need them, you need them.
What's your go-to?
Usually everybody gets Bengay, but there's one sports cream, it's called.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one.
Tiger Balm?
Yeah, but that ain't the real Tiger Balm.
No. Now, that funny story with the real Tiger Balm, my ex-father-in-law used to go, when he was in the city, he would go to the little Japanese, Chinese bodegas and buy it from there because the recipe was different. If he had a head cold, he would take a scoop of it with his finger in a pot of boiling water. Once it dissolved and it was just steaming, towel over his head over that pot, and that shit was cleared up and he was good.
Really?
It cleared everything out.
So my brother-in-law Larry's mother used to give him Vicks on a spoon.
Oh,
right in her mouth.
Yuck.
And I'm like, no way, that can't be. No,
that can't be good for you.
But apparently, people did it.
Damn. Yuck. All right, so there's my 6. over-unders.
All right. What?
The consistency
The
alone.
motherfucker's still breathing clear from a cold he had in 81.
But we're still tasting the damn Nathan's hot dog.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to rabbit hole. What video dragged you down the TikTok, YouTube Reels hole this week? Did you get the email that we got an episode pulled from Spotify?
We did?
Yeah, somebody put in a complaint.
Stop.
About season 3, episode 1, Scurv.
Are you kidding me?
No, there's some kind of copyright claim on there, but it's a lady, and it's not saying like what the copyright is to.
So we have an episode pulled.
We have an episode currently being pulled.
All right.
And there's a form I can fill out, but I don't even know what I'm asking.
Right.
Because you're not telling me what.
I'm almost like wearing that as a badge of honor.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, Sal, you fucking scurv.
You got an episode pulled. You piece of shit.
Come to find out, it's probably the fucking bitch from Idaho that he's been banging. He dropped too much potato on her, and now we're fucking paying
chowder.
the price. Yeah.
Oh, my God. That's fucking funny.
Yeah. So my rabbit hole this week was John Gruden on Barstool.
Really?
Yeah, John Gruden on Barstool. Have you watched any of this?
No.
So he's a Barstool employee now,
okay.
And he's the most legit, like, just dude, you know. So they had like the Barstool games or Barstool something the other night, and they were doing like the 40 times, like a combine.
No shit.
They were doing kicking. PFT was kicking with no shoe on, and he was like from 35 yards, he was money.
Damn.
Up to 35 yards. 34.5 yards was like his limit. Like he hit the goalpost, he hit the crossbar. The big blonde dude, I can't remember his name. The big blonde hair dude is like the Southern hillbilly.
Okay.
He talks shit about college. He's a college football guy.
Yeah.
John Gruden goes, the only difference between him and a bucket of shit is the bucket. And then Gruden went on a walk with Frank the Tank.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'm walking around and this car full of women pull up and they're hot fucking women too. He goes, I'm like, sweet, they know who we are. They're honking, they want pictures. He goes, and they go over to Frank. He goes, they walk right past me, they go over to Frank. He goes, I felt some sort of way about it.
He looks like Chucky.
He does. But Gruden's still awesome. And then Jesus Christ. Will Compton ran a 4.9 still.
Damn.
4.9 still.
That's impressive.
Yeah. Still today, he ran a 4.9. And Gruden's on the commentary at the time. He goes, he ran the same thing when he came out of college, and you no wonder why he wasn't drafted.
Have you ever seen Frank Caliendo do John Gruden in the locker room?
Yes.
That was awesome.
Yeah. So once you get on like them Gruden things, then
Yeah.
Caliendo coming up.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about this guy. But then I did watch a cool thing where Gruden had a guy that drove his bus. It was just a driver. Never talked to Gruden really, just say good morning, whatever, and just drove.
Yeah.
And he said, he came up to Gruden. Mike Mayock this must have been Gruden's last time with the Raiders.
Okay.
Came up to Gruden and he's like, all this dude did was drive his bus and watch college football.
Mayock was what, the OC?
No, he was the GM.
Oh, the GM.
Mike
okay.
Mayock, right?
Okay.
So he said, this guy come up to him and he goes, there's this kid, I'm going to fuck up Max Crosby's school, but
Right.
out of Eastern Michigan, whatever. He goes, there's this kid, Max Crosby is a fucking animal. You have to take him. He's like, yeah, Eastern Michigan. He goes, then he comes to the combine and like nobody's really paying attention to him. He's like, there's a guy named Max Crosby you need to take. You have to draft this guy. And Gruden's telling Max Crosby.
And this is his bus driver.
Yeah. And he goes, you better thank, I don't know, fucking Larry Allen, whatever the fucking guy's name was.
Yeah.
You better thank him because that's the guy that got you drafted by the Raiders.
Damn.
And he's like, basically, if you didn't get drafted, what would you be doing?
Right.
He's like, if I didn't get drafted, I'd probably be dead from, banging hookers or something. But, the idea was a fucking bus driver saw this. He goes, all I do is watch college football. I'm telling you, this is the guy.
Yeah.
And they end up drafting the guy just based on the bus driver's recommendation.
That's awesome.
So it's cool stories like that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that shit with Gruden that I've noticed.
Eric Sim golf.
Golf.
So his one of his media guys for Momentum is he was a former pro baseball player, but he's a real avid amateur golfer, and he got Sim out playing golf. So he hits the ball country mile. Like he had he had the world long drive champion on, and they were going swing for swing, and he was hitting a lot. Like his swing, the ball coming off the club face was like 204 miles an hour. Like he hits legit.
Right.
That he can do that.
When your whole career is just swinging,
right,
you're gonna have velocity.
So, but he didn't play golf before this, and you've watched over like the last 5 months them going to local courses in Arizona and playing. Well, they played TPC,
Sawgrass,
whatever. Well, I forget which one it is. Flagstaff in Arizona. His goal, because 69 is everything, his goal was to shoot a 69 or under for 9 holes. Fucker shot a 49.
Jesus.
Yeah, parred 4
crazy.
holes. Yeah, he took 2 snowmen, but
when you're driving the ball, probably 310.
Yeah, but his putts. I mean, once they saw the difference between a pro quality course and your average Joe course, just by the shape the greens were. He's like, holy shit, these are fast. I've never putted on.
Oh yeah, you're putting on this floor right here.
Yeah, but yeah, 49 for a dude that's only been playing golf for like 6 months.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's absolutely amazing. I'm trying to think of some of the other stuff. Who's the guy from Bryson? He's a golfer, pro golfer right now.
Oh boy,
Chambro.
Shambo.
Yeah. He had this thing where he was day one. He got one shot at hitting a hole in one over his house.
Okay.
Took him 15 days to do it. Some random dude comes up and on his 5th shot,
holes out.
Oh
shit.
Yeah. It was cool. But can you imagine the fucking pressure if they put me and you there? It's all glass in the front of the house.
Taking everyone to out.
And he's got to hit over at like 130 yards. You gotta have really good trust in somebody or bulletproof fucking windows. Because we'd be putting him right through the front door.
Absolutely. That's bad.
Yeah. Chris Van Vliet.
Yep.
I watch a lot of his with the wrestling stories, a lot of background shit. A lot of Taker. A lot of people don't like Hogan these days.
Yeah, Taker, you could tell there's still some grudge there from some early shit. Justin Danger Nunley was on.
Justin Danger Nunley was another guy that I watched. Yeah,
Justin that was Danger. Awesome.
Yeah.
That was a good interview.
Do you hear how much that dude makes per week on TikTok?
I can't imagine.
It's like 30 to 70 grand a month.
Holy shit.
That he's making. And he finally retired from the military.
Yeah, they were talking about Tony Hinchcliffe, Kill Tony.
Yeah.
And he's like, because Taker asked him, like, are you going to go into stand-up comedy? And he's like, yeah, I absolutely want to. He goes, but I want to do Tony Hinchcliffe because I want to get roasted before I start my career. He goes, because that's just kind of like an honor to go on there and get destroyed. Mm-hmm. But that's going to be his next path. The dude is hysterical. He's a good storyteller.
He's a good storyteller, but that's he's got to find his craft in that way.
Right.
Because just going up and telling jokes isn't the same. Like Tom Segura is a very good storyteller comedian. Dave Chappelle's a very good storyteller comedian. Then there's other guys that are just funny, not really telling stories, or more telling jokes.
Yeah.
So, the other one I watch a lot of, it's if you go on TikTok, it's Paulie Wood.
Okay.
It's a guy at a car dealership, and he just goes up and he has like a microphone, so you just see like from a first POV, just the microphone. And he goes, Highland, where did 50 Cent want to take you? And he goes to like all the people.
Oh, yeah, I've seen this.
It's like the candy shop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's the 2 girls on there are like smoke shows that they're getting these huge followings just based off of this dude going around. And it's always some kind of question.
Right.
What did Creed want to show you?
Yeah.
This photograph or whatever.
What did Master P say? Oh, what did Master P make him say? And it's like, but it's funny. You can tell the generational gaps between
because when he goes to like a 60-year-old guy, the guy has no idea.
No idea.
And like when he goes to the older shit, I'm pretty good. But when he goes to this like 2000 stuff,
Yeah, no,
I have not.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I don't know any of them.
Nope, I'm with you.
So yeah, they were like the main ones I kind of watched. And Patrick Mahomes hates Barstool.
Well, we all hate Patrick Mahomes.
Well, and Dave was like, "Listen, we didn't hate him. We report on it." He goes, "But you and your fucking idiot brother and your wife danced on Sean Taylor's, basically his tomb in Washington."
That's fucked up.
He goes, and then you wonder why we criticize you, you fucking dirtbags. Like,
right.
You don't do that.
Now
Did you?
You're a staunch Cowboy fan.
Wait. Go ahead. All right, go ahead.
You're a staunch Cowboy fan, but you also have a extreme dislike of Mahomes and Kelsey. Who are you going for this weekend?
I want Saquon Barkley to run for 200 and something yards.
Okay.
And win because they devalued the running back position so bad in the NFL.
Right.
That's still a major part of the game, and these guys still matter.
Right.
And you devalued that position like it's almost like it's fucking 7-on-7 now.
Right.
It's bullshit. You need a running game.
Look at the Eagles. Jalen Hurts didn't even hit 3,000 passing yards this year.
Right.
And they're in the Super Bowl.
Right.
Because the running game is that important.
Defense and running game, you can still, you get a lead and you fucking control the clock.
And in typical Jets fashion, Mekhi Becton leaves the Jets after 5 injury-filled years, and he's going to the Super Bowl as a starting right tackle.
Of course.
So,
what I was going to say to you, though, was did you see the thing I sent you where you said the Pro Bowl, one of our previous episodes?
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
Yeah. The hit that Sean Taylor put on the fucking punter. I sent it to you.
Oh, disgusting.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
I told you, I'm like, yo, don't tell me they didn't play hard.
Yeah, some of them did.
He smoked that dude.
That was like Pete Rose taking out Ray Fosse at the All-Star game.
Yeah, he smoked that dude.
One guy started getting into JD DeLay.
Okay.
It's in the prison YouTube / TikTok genre. Dude was a absolute monster shot caller in Oregon in the prisons with a gang in the prison system, and now he's a motivational speaker. Totally got his life turned around. And now he's getting other people's lives turned around. But the stories he's got, the one he tells, he's like, "Listen, I get into this place, and it's very specific in Oregon. White people only room with white people." He goes, if you find out you get there and your roommate is even Mexican or whatever, he goes, you don't even go in that room. You stand outside and say, find somewhere else because I'm not going in. So he goes in, and it's this older, scrawny white guy. JD DeLay is like 260, chiseled. And the guy's like, let me see your papers. So he shows him his papers, and JD says, let me see yours. So they look, and he's like, all right, cool. So this
you're
guy's
not a rapo. You're not,
and that's what it was for. So this guy's doing life. JD DeLay is doing 39 months. He's like, all right. He's like, how much time are you doing? He's like, 39 months. He's like, all right, that's the last time I ever want to hear you talk about an out date. This is my forever home, and we'll be fine. He goes, but when you piss, you sit down. And he's like, okay, why? He's like, because there's a piss radius. He goes, you're 3 feet away from the bowl. You may not see it or feel it. He goes, but that stuff sprays out of there. And I'm not living here for the rest of my life with another man's piss around. And it's just the way it is in there.
Yeah.
But he said this guy was small, and you could tell by the look in his eyes, if he had to fucking kill you,
he was going
to kill you.
Well, that's it. He's not going anywhere.
No.
Ever.
Yep.
Fuck that.
Yeah, no. No, wild shit.
Yeah. I'm telling you, if they gave me life for any reason, every motherfucking chance that was remotely possible, I'm taking to try and get out.
Yeah. What are they going to do? Give you more time?
Yeah, you're already not leaving.
Right.
Every fucking sliver of chance, I'm going.
Hey, fuck it.
Right. And if they take you out, if they got to shoot you or whatever,
at least you go trying.
If I'm 1 foot outside of the fucking walls and I'm into freedom, even though you're not free,
right?
Yeah, fuck it.
Yep, it's free to me.
Yeah, no way, man.
So, that's cool, man. There's just a lot of good content out there. Starting to TikTok being back. Yeah. I got down to the reels on real life court cases where they picked this girl up because her child's father got shot in the face on his mail route.
Uh-huh.
It was her.
Oh, of course it was.
Yeah. but it took 13 TikTok segments
Oh, I know. I hate that.
to get to the end to find out finally she realizes that there's no way around this. They have all the evidence they need.
Before she admits what
right.
she did.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, those are awesome, but I just condensed the shit.
Yeah.
I did start watching. I see a lot of this kid. I guarantee you've seen him. It's a kid. He's like, "Hi, I'm back." He'll watch a video and then he tries to recreate it, and it's a lot of food stuff.
Okay.
He's like, "I'm back at the sloppy hoe and and dough," and then his girlfriend comes in and helps him sometimes. Let me see if I can find a name on it because I know I send them out quite a bit. They've done some good ones.
There's one on YouTube. I watch Unhealthy Foods.
Have you ever watched First Date with Lauren?
No. No.
Huge, blonde with huge cans.
This Unhealthy Foods, the chick on that is a smoke show too. She looks just like Punky Brewster.
Corey and Alicia.
Okay.
You probably have seen.
Yeah, she looks familiar.
He's like he's a funny dude, but they'll retry recipes. If you look on like Reels or TikTok, Corey and Alicia, and they'll come up with and they redo like a lot. It could be from somebody doing an alcohol drink to it could be eggs to I watched them do how they should do Italian sauce right now, and they have them cut up cherry tomatoes in half.
Okay.
Crush garlic, put it in there, cook it all down till it's like really soft.
Yeah.
Throw it in a blender with fresh mozz, just right out of the thing.
Really?
And then take the pasta fluid,
The
put it
water.
in there, put it in the blender, blend it up, and then it comes like a puree.
Yeah.
Put that back in the pan, then put the pasta back in. And they were like, "Oh my god, this is unreal." The other one that I watched them do is they made brownies, but instead of using water, they used 2 eggs and condensed milk.
Oh my god.
And it was like they said it was like the best, like creamy, chewy, soft fucking brownie you can make.
Jesus.
I'm like, man, I haven't had brownies in a while. I'm tempted to go get some condensed milk and make a thing of brownies.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, but it's stuff like that is enjoyable. That's
Yeah.
what makes you fall down
The rabbit hole.
hole.
Yep, absolutely.
You're like, okay, I watched 37 of these. At least I'm finally out of hooves. Like forever, I was
the
in
hoof
like
cleaning.
yeah, the hoof cleaning or reshoeing horses. I'm
Yeah.
out of that finally.
Yeah.
Like I've not watched enough of those to not see them again.
The best horse one ever though is still the one horse that kicked the other horse and the horse fucking dropped right there.
Yeah. Did you ever see the one where the one donkey kicked the other donkey right in the dick?
No.
Yeah. The donkey's like rrr, rrr, to the next one, and the thing just goes wow and kicks him. You just see this hog, and the thing's just going just straight shot to the cock.
Oh, there we go. Donkey kicking the D star K.
Yeah, yeah,
There's the show title.
yeah,
Oh my god, that's awesome.
yeah. So that's it though. Like you get in these things, like you're just futzing around. Next thing you know, you're like, oh my lord.
Yeah. That's
I've
brutal.
been watching this for 2 fucking hours.
That is brutal.
Anything else really going?
No, that's it, man. That's fun.
I mean, this will come out after the Super Bowl, so
Fun
in
episode.
Some aspects, I'm hoping we don't have 3-peat champions.
Yeah,
I don't want
me
them to
too.
break it. The only upside to that is maybe Kelsey will retire and we can be rid of him, rid of both the brothers.
I didn't mind Jason though.
No, but
He's less annoying than Travis.
yeah, it's just it's in general. Like I gotta be honest, I haven't watched an NFL football game since November,
once,
so I don't.
Once the Cowboy season became officially
No,
done.
once they beat the Giants on Thanksgiving, that's the last. I'd rather watch college football.
Yeah.
Speaking of college football, I'll be going to University of Texas.
Nice.
In like 4 weeks here, like a month from now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So and old fucking A&M's just down the road, like an hour and 1 minute.
College Station.
So I might have to go over and see how Manziel lived for a couple days.
There you go.
Yeah. So I'm excited, man. Like I'd rather watch college football.
Instead of going to the campus, just go to a strip club in College Station.
That's it.
That's where he was.
Win or lose, we booze, right?
Yep.
Wasn't that this thing? So yeah, I'm excited. Texas, we'll see what happens.
Good.
You got anything else?
No, I'm good, pal.
All right, take us home.
All right, for Jimmy Mack, this is Winnie. This has been the Outlaw